got to thinking about religion and spirituality. I think about these things often. I think it's a normal part of life. You have the existential aspect of the mind, I guess you want to call it that, not the dread, but just how people think about stuff. But it seems like in our modern society, with woke, I don't know if it's called wokeism, just some of the stuff you see, like some of the trendy terms you see, someone being against the patriarchy or the matriarchy or the whatever archy. People thinking that they're going against religion or spirituality, and they're seeking something different online. Though that they're finding this what they're filling that void. With things online, their gods are Louis Vuitton or just the things Dior or whatever the hell you see online. And I'm not insulting that way of lifestyle, but what I'm getting at is somebody insults a spiritual religious belief or practice. They think that they're being woke, that those things are the opiate of the masses, as I think it was Karl Marx. It might be Nietzsche, but I'm pretty sure it's Karl Marx said that, religion is the opiate of the masses. And they think they're being free of some shepherd, by being free of that. Now, I don't mean free like in a Buddhist sense. That's a whole other mode of philosophy. I use a lot of religious themes, terms, as a platform to explain other social tropes or things I see in society, or other, just organic algorithms. When I say that, I have no connection with technology when I say that. What I mean is an organic algorithm, just things that we see in society that our actions kind of, the more, you go do something, the more you're going to be connected to the things you're going to do. And then the more you're going to see that thing in your surroundings. It could be called the consciousness creating reality. Our experiences help create our reality. Anyway, so you have kids, even people that are 20s or 30s, and they're feeling disillusioned, disconnected from the world, and they're seeking something outside of religion, and that thing outside of religion is usually materialism. And they're thinking they're free from the shepherd, so they're not being a sheep. But then they're going online, and they're having people that are basically paid to tell them what to like behind closed doors. They never know these people. Those people are basically their pastors, if you think about it. They're materialistic pastors. And it's not some conspiracy theory. It's just simple economics. You go online, you like one thing, the algorithm on the social media site then suggests 3 more things that are like that. It's, how you sell stuff. Oh, did you like the Toyota? Well, how about this other car, which has a similar drivetrain and engine, whatever the hell. And you start going down these loops of just getting stuck in this material wasteland, and then you start feeling disconnected from the world around you, and then you do drugs because you see memes about drugs, and there's all these drugs in the news. And I'm for decriminalization of plant allies, is what I call them. I currently am sober, believe it or not. Some people think they see the mushroom hoodie, you tripping, whatever, but I have this respect, this profound respect for nature. Maybe it's just some of my genetics. But, some hereditary thing in me. The point is this, I don't want to prattle on too much, but, these people, they're pastors, or people that are behind closed doors that are getting paid to suggest certain things, that these people that are obsessed with materialism, that have made materialism their church, these people are basically following somebody that they've never met before. They can never go up and shake their pastor's hand unless they're at the right fashion event. And what are the odds that the person's going to be at the right fashion event? Because there's not fashion events that are accessible in every corner, like a religious spiritual temple, something of that nature. So it just seems a little strange that these people then they have usually higher rates of suicide, of mental illness, higher rates of addiction, because it's like there's nothing there that's necessarily giving them that sense of community, other than a community of kind of like a teenage wasteland, to quote that old school song. I forget the name of the song, but I've heard it on the radio before. It's way before my time. Anyway, the point is this, excuse me. It just seems a little strange to me that, these people, it's like they think they're fighting the system. They're not being a sheep. But in reality, it's, what is more of a following thing to do? I would rather go and debate somebody one-on-one that was a pastor, Buddhist adherent, somebody that a Zen master, just somebody that knew something, that had a hands-on experience, that I could go and actually sit down and talk to the person, rather than I'm just kind of interacting with someone over the internet or, social media, and then I'm going to go by what they suggested for me, rather than if I went and spoke to, some Reiki healer or somebody that was doing, Zen meditation of some sort, or maybe not Zen, but some sort of meditation. So I read this thing the other day, I said a lot of Zen practitioners, they don't even meditate. Anyway, but they just, it's just about walking and stealing your mind while you walk. So it's not like the traditional sitting down and, all these things that a lot of Westerners associate with meditation. Anyway, but it was just a thought of mine. It's like, I can have a one-on-one. Think about it. If you had a parent, if you were 18 and you're going to college, or 19 and going to college, and your parents online and you're only speaking to them, it's going to be totally a completely different rapport, conversation with them. If you're in person, you're reading body language, cues, tones with their, hearing the tones with how they say stuff, so you understand what they're putting emphasis on. And I think there's value to those systems, those personal relationship systems that we see within religious spiritual practice. I myself, I'm not overtly, religious or spiritual. I definitely like studying comparative religion, spirituality. There's this guy on YouTube, and I think it's called Let's Talk Religions or something. He was saying that what is the scholars don't even really know how to define certain things with what religion is. We just kind of assume certain things, but you can see religion popping up from materialism. It has its core tenets. It's kind of like thou shalt buy the most trendiest stuff. So you start seeing this stuff, these labels, the labels then become, the things which show that the person has kind of, the labels are the saints. What do you have, like Saint Dior? And it's like each saint represents something different. It's like just like saints within a Christian or Catholic tradition or something. So it's really no different, and I often wonder if humankind were meant to have some connection to something which we perceive to be greater than ourselves, which can give us a connection to something, I don't know if you want to call it human, or something that we feel like came from something human. I think some people seek that connection to things nowadays which are not of flesh and blood and spirit and soul, if you believe in that. They seek that connection with things which are wired, and kind of plugging them into this way of thinking that's very robotic, and it almost strips away the qualia, the experience, the things that we have that really make us human, that really give us that attachment to, things that have value in life. We don't hold children and think, boy, this is a great metallic, piece of flesh that's void of feeling and emotion. We hold a child and we feel a warmth, their breath. We smell the child, we smell the scent. Children associate scents with, certain parents, mother or father. They associate sound. Babies, when they're younger, they can't see so well, so they hear cues before their eyesight develops. So there's a lot to be said about forging human connections, and basically the myriad ways that we can do that. And I understand somebody might sit there and say, well, what if you can meet up with someone at a mall and go shop and do things like that? But it just seems like you have these lifestyles which are kind of pushing people almost away from one another. The more we're into the digital world, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try to spend about an hour online every night. I'm not doing the average 6 to 8 hours a day. I don't even have a smartphone. Or I have one, I haven't turned it on. But the point is this, it's been like 3 years since I've actually had a phone turn on. The point is this, is that I just feel like sometimes when people think they're giving up that opiate of the masses, they're just going and finding a different opiate, a different drug, a drug of choice to use. And that's, that just seems a little absurd to me. So to me, I feel like people are wired to seek that connection, to seek these groups, these tribes, these whatever you want to call them, your soul tribe, your vibe tribe, your whatever the hell tribe you want to call it, I don't know. But it just seems like people should really be careful about, where they're putting if they're putting all their eggs in one basket. So for myself, like I said, I'm very open. I learn from everything that I can. I feel like that's part of life, not to be racist. I'm not insulting people that are racist, but I'm getting at, I know that might sound obscure, but like how can I be love if, I'm pointing a finger. It's not my cup of tea. I understand the negative consequences of doing certain things, but that's another whole nother story. It just seems really strange for me that, people would think they're being woke by moving away from the shepherd of religion or spiritual practice just to pick up another shepherd that they can never talk to. They can never, like, how do you see the Saint Dior manifest its kindness in reality? But you can sit there and see a saint manifest, from a religious spiritual tradition, that saint's message manifest in flesh through the person that's living out what the saint is saying through their actions. So it's just really fascinating to me. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. I'm open for, to hear others' opinions, that would disagree with me, but it's just, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I don't want to be egotistical, but it's just a thought I had anyway.